Hey Flosstube, I am Danielle and this is my channel, Love and Stitchin'. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new, I just want to say welcome and I appreciate you giving my channel a look. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate all of the support and all of the comments, Instagram comments, follows, everything like that. So thank you guys so much. Today is Tuesday, November 23rd, I believe. So we're 2 days before Thanksgiving, and I know this is a busy week for us in the United States getting ready for Thanksgiving and the kickoff to the Christmas season. As you can see, I have started decorating behind me. I do have my hutch finished and decorated. My next video, I'm going to kind of talk about this a little bit more, but I'm doing something a little bit different for this video because it's been a very crazy last few weeks. Work has picked up. I had a sick kiddo last week, and so she was home with me during the day, and so work just kind of took over everything rather than getting a lot of stitching done. So instead of showing my fully finished objects, whips, everything like that, like I would do in a normal video, I thought I would do something a little bit different. And I've actually thought about this for a little while. As I was putting up my cross stitch tree, which is up, I was pulling out all of my ornaments, and I just thought it would be fun to do an ornament parade. I'm not sure if anyone has ever done something like that. If they have, please comment below and let me know because I would love to go check it out. But like I've mentioned in my very first video, if you're new, maybe you don't know this about me, but I have been stitching for about 20 years. So I started in grade school, and probably in my teen years is when I started stitching the smaller pieces and finishing them as ornaments. A lot of the ones that are finished from back then were finished by my mom because I was not very good at sewing, still not good, as you will see today, but I'm trying to get practice and get better and just enjoy them even if there's mistakes in them. So it's fun to still put out all of my ornaments every year. This year I had about 8 or 10, I think, new ornaments to add to the tree, which really isn't that many. I would love to next year do a lot better with my ornaments. And so I think this year, between the Housewives tidbits and Dapper Doodads, I wanted to finish them different to be able to put them in my tier tray or decorate them up here. And I'm back. All right, so that was the oven, and it is in self-clean mode, but we've had issues with the temperature gauge, and I guess it could not get actually to the level that it needed to, so it was actually a error message. So we are waiting for the door to unlock and see if we can figure out what's going on. I had to get my husband involved. He's downstairs working. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the oven. We're hosting Thanksgiving, so hopefully we can get it figured out today or tomorrow and be ready for Thanksgiving to cook a turkey. That could be very interesting. Anyhow, I think I was talking about the Dapper Doodads and the tier tray tidbits, and so it's because of the ones that I stitched there, they did not become ornaments, so I didn't have as many ornaments. So next year, part of my plans will probably be to stitch at least one ornament a month and to do more ornaments in Jolly July. You know, along with all the other goals that I'm gonna have, it's fine, you know, it'll totally get done. We'll see. So I thought I would start off with the ornaments that I just finished, and these are the ones that I've stitched throughout the year. I didn't finish any of them until recently. And so that's also been what some of my time has gone to, is trying to get some things finished rather than stitching. So I've had to kind of divide my time up. So there's just not been as much stitching. And this is just a busy time of year for all of us, I know. And so just less stitching, even though I would love to just sit and stitch all day for Christmas and watch Christmas movies and drink hot chocolate and all the good stuff. So let's just go ahead and get started in on the ornaments that I finished for this year. And then I'll talk a little bit about the ones that I finished previously. I do have enough that fill up like a 4-foot Christmas tree. And I still think I've got space in there to put some more. So it's not like a full 4-foot Christmas tree that's completely filled up. There's still some spaces to fill in some more ornaments as I continue to stitch them. And for those ones, the ones that I've stitched in the past, I don't know all of the patterns. I more than likely have them just in my stash somewhere because I do keep 90% of the patterns that I stitch. I keep them in a place for my stitch pattern. So if you do have a question about any of those, just leave a comment below and I will go search and find it. Some of them are going to be from magazines as well, but I do have all of those, so I can easily go find something if you do want to know what the pattern is. So just let me know. So I'm going to start with the ones that make me laugh, and these are the Pinker and Pumpkin quilting ornaments that I stitched, and I showed the finish of 3 of them on my last video, I think, and then I finished up the 4th one. So I did fully finish them, and I wanted to do them into little pillow ornaments. And so my sewing is not 100%, and I'm still learning. So I was trying to kind of follow the tutorial by Christy for Java Girl Stitches, and I clearly did not follow the instructions correctly because her pillows are fantastic, and I've got some hilarious parts to these ones. So the ones that did turn out decently, at least, I'll show you those first. So this is Mrs. Claus. And so the idea was to have this fabric down here and then a fabric on the side, and then the backing fabric as well, and then a little hanger ornament. So this one actually is the one that probably turned out the best. It's not as big as I think I wanted it because I didn't have as much fabric when I sewed it together. I just wasn't thinking, I don't know. But this is the one that turned out the best probably, and then I just did a covered button and some ribbon, and I just did a little dab of hot glue on them, and then just the pom-pom hanger. And then the truck turned out maybe second best because the hanger is not even. It's not in the middle, but at least you have the fabric here showing, and it still needs a cover button. I ran out of that size. They're supposed to be in the mail yesterday, but they should be here today, I think, so I'll be able to finish those up. But the fabric showed through on both sides better. So these were the last 2 that I did. The first 2 I learned from my mistakes. Okay, Santa's not too bad. At least his hanger's in the middle. He does have his ribbon. There's a little more fabric here, or less than the other 2, but more than the barn that I'll show you here in a minute. And then I did try to ladder stitch these, which I used a YouTube video to do that. It's not perfect, but you know, they're finished, they hold together. For these I did put, because this is on 25 count Vintage Country Mocha Lugana, I did put iron-on interfacing behind it just because I wanted it. I didn't want any of the stuffing to come through on it. So I did put a little bit of protection there. The barn. Everything about the barn is funny. So, okay, we are super lopsided, and there is like no green fabric. Like, just, I don't know what happened. The first one that I did. So he actually got a ribbon in the middle because the bottom part also was just a mess. But that's okay. He's still cute. I'm still gonna put him on my tray. I'm at this point in time not gonna go fix it because it takes a lot of time and effort, especially for me who is not a seamstress. I showed these to my husband and he said, please tell me these are not gifts for people because I want to keep them for myself because I think they're fantastic, which is very sweet. He's very supportive, and I appreciated the sentiment there. And I told him there's no way I can give my sewing away as gifts, at least not yet. Maybe we'll get to a place. I think the bags that I've made, they've turned out okay. So for whatever reason, maybe I've just had more practice with making bags. So that sewing I'm okay with, but pillows, I'm not there yet. Okay, I've got 2 Prairie Schoolers that I stitched earlier this year, and both of these I think are in Just Cross Stitch Magazine's Ornament magazines. And I don't know the names of them, but I think this is probably Good Night. And I don't know this one. So these are my 2 finishes for them. I did finish them the same just because I had stitched them, and I used that same fabric. I think I've used this for finishes before, and I think it's from Walmart that I got earlier this year. And I used the same pom-pom finish and just attached it. And then this ribbon actually came from Dollar Tree, I believe, and then a covered button. I think they're so cute. And they're on Coffee Tea Dyed Monaco, 28 count. So these are actually the first 2 Prairie Schoolers that I've ever stitched. So I do have more patterns that I want to finish. So looking forward to getting those out hopefully next year. This was the one that I showed last time. This was by Helen D. And she won the Just Cross Stitch Magazine Ornament Challenge. And so I finished it into a pillow. And this one again, I've stitched it also with the Pinker and Pumpkin ones. And so this is not quite even, but it actually turned out better than they did, I think. I probably should have left a little bit more room to where you could see the words a little bit better, but I think it turned out okay. And I whip stitched this one too, which turned out a lot better than the other ones actually. So just did some plaid here, and I did leave a top stitch because I didn't want to try to mess with not doing a top stitch, and I thought it would look okay with the black fabric, or the black and green check fabric. So I think this one turned out really cute, and I'm excited to have it. At least it's a better pillow finish than the other ones. Okay, this is a Lizzie Kate. I stitched it in July for Jolly July while we were driving on camping, and it turned out cute. So this is Peace, and I can't remember what the booklet is that it's from, but I do have it in case anyone is interested. It's on a mystery piece of fabric that's just a darker fabric, and it's an even weave. And I finished it like Priscilla's tutorial, and with ribbon and a wreath. So I think that one turned out cute too. And so I really think I need to stick with hot glue for my finishing techniques, because those turn out a lot better than my sewing, but I'll get better. Practice makes progress. Maybe not perfect, but progress at least. This is the Be Merry from the Housewives Tidbits recently. I am working on the freebie now that they gave as well, so I have not finished it, but it will be an ornament too. And this fabric was from Walmart, and I tried to go find more and they were out. So lesson, when you find fabric you like, you should probably snag it. And I did get this ribbon from Walmart, a whole bunch of it, because I think it's gonna be good for ornaments, and it is really pretty. So I actually had a different fabric or ribbon picked out before I got this one, and then I changed it because I liked this one better and it matched really well. And then I had a little slit in my fabric, and so I needed to cover that up and make sure it would stick and not unravel or anything. So I just put some trim around that part, and that helped. And then a Santa jingle bell. That is probably from Hobby Lobby if I were to guess. And another housewife finish for this year was Here Comes Santa Claus. This was a Cherry Tidbit from this past month, or maybe the month before. And then I used the same fabric that I used for the Dasher pillow, and just some ribbon up top. And then I used Rick Rack for the hanger that time. I need to get some more. I think Joann's is gonna be having a Black Friday sale that includes trims and things, so I think I might have to get stocked up on some trims. And the last finish for this year, at least, so far, is one of the Crazy Annie's Ornament Club from last year that I finished. And I've got the other ones here to show that I finished last year. So this one does not match the other ones, as you will see here in a minute, but I liked this fabric because it matched the snowman, so I thought it kind of brought that out in him. And then this is a snowman button from Hobby Lobby last year that I just added on with some blue ribbon. And that's that one. So since I've got these ones out, I'll go ahead and show the other ones that I finished last year of that series. And I have 5 of them, it looks like. So still a lot more to go because there were 14. So I've done 6. So I guess that means I've got 8 more to go. This was Joy. And these ones I finished all the same, yes. So I used the same fabric, the same ribbon, the same type of bow, and then mostly just covered buttons for these ones. And this one is on black, either Linda or Linda or 28 count Monaco, but that's that one. And then we have Merry Christmas, and I like this one because I used some Christmas lights, mini ones, and I just kind of strung them, glued them in there to where they would stay. Let's see, there we go. And I thought that was a cute way to do it. And so, again, these ones, as I progressed in my finishing, I started doing Priscilla's finish because it's easier than sewing and things get finished that way. And I really like how it looks. And so this is the 2020 Snowman. So again, same finish. And then some more snowmen that are singing with a tree, and they're cute. And the truck. I want to say this was one of the first ones that came out. So one of the first ones that I stitched, and I just put a little tree up there as well to go with it. So those are the ones in that series that I've stitched. Okay, let's go into some more from the Housewives. These are the gingerbread ones that they did last November, I think, is when they did them. So this is the sweet jar, or sweet what's in my cup, and just used a gingerbread. I think all of them have something up there that's gingerbread or candy cane related. And so I finished all of these ones the same as well, the same ribbon and combination and fabric. So these ones have a double layer of fabric. I think Priscilla did them pretty similar. Maybe a different color fabric though. And I think this fabric was probably from Joann's. And this bow is massive. I don't think I intended it for it to be that massive, but it turned out that massive. And just candy canes in the middle of this one. So let's see. And then Santa, another gingerbread up there. And I stitched these on, you know what, I don't even know. It's a 28 count and something that was just in my stash that I had. It was not dyed by me. It was something that I had picked up many years ago, I'm sure. And then here's the little house with a little house gingerbread. And I think I had these in my stash from a long time ago too. So that is the 4 of them all together. And there is a 5th one, so I'm gonna show that one because I finished him differently. But I did bring him along. He's not an ornament. So this is the cookies, Mrs. Claus's cookies, I think. And I had this piece in my decor. However, there's something else that was supposed to be hanging here and it broke off. And so I hadn't been displaying this and I thought this pattern would be really cute. So I just glued it onto the little hanger and put it then in between and it hangs in my kitchen. And I think it's so cute. So that's why I didn't make him into an ornament. Instead, I just hung him in my kitchen. Okay, a few more. I've showed these ones before, but I'll go ahead and show them again since this is an ornament parade. And this is Jolly Claus. And these ones are all finished similarly again. And Mrs. Claus, so they are together. And I just put Santa hat and mittens in the middle with just some red and black check fabric. And the bows, of course. And then these are the deliveries, the truck deliveries that they did last July. Gingham gratings and something else. And so these ones have trees in the middle of them and they have a different ribbon up here because I ran out of the red ribbon that I liked at the time. So I had to come up with something different. And since we're on the topic of Housewives, this is one that I did last year because Priscilla had a video tour, I think in 2019. And this is from the 2016 Just Cross Stitch magazine from the Seasons in Chalk Christmas one that she did. And so I just pulled this one out and she did the same thing. And I've actually seen other people do it as well. So just pulled out the Santa and the reindeer that are in there and made them into an ornament. I still need to stitch the big one. I've got a small start on it, but I would love to get that one up and displayed. But for now, this little guy hangs on my tree and I think he's cute. And that's the fabric. And then just some Christmas presents and a little guy that says Merry Christmas. And that is definitely on Joblin because back then I did not know about Linda or Monaco or anything like that. But I did have black Joblin. Okay, so here's some more that are Priscilla-fied, I would say. Priscilla's Finish. This is one I stitched last year for Jolly July. It is The Stockings Were Hung. It is from one of the Just Cross Stitch magazines. And so I just did a double bow or bows on each side with those same hat and mittens that I did on Jolly and Mrs. Claus. And then for this one, I just put felt on the back rather than putting it on a board because it was so long. I figured felt might be a better way to go with this one rather than using another board. And then just a really, really big ribbon. And this fabric I actually think came from Walmart as well, the backing fabric. And it's on Coffee Tea Dyed Monaco, probably. That might be Monaco that was from, or Even Weave from Hobby Lobby, I think. So these two I rescued from a thrift store years ago. And so I don't know anything about them except for what I've got here. And these are the finishes. So the way that they did this is they did put them on like board on the back. And they cut this is on Aida, it looks like. And they cut the Aida just to fit it and glued it on there then. I'm guessing like fabric glue. And then put a ribbon on it. And they've stuck together for years. And this one, I thought it had information on it, but it doesn't. It just says ho ho ho. And then Santa's sleigh. So this one doesn't have a ribbon, so it just kind of sticks in my tree. But I found these and I had to rescue them because they needed a home. So they are now in my home. And let's see. Here's another one that I rescued. I rescued it from myself. So when I first started stitching, I used the little kits that came from Hobby Lobby, just the small, teeny tiny kits that came with everything that you needed. And this was one of them. And I actually think I stitched this for my sister, but somehow it came back into my possession. And so I ended up changing it up last year. It was in a hoop, like one of those small plastic hoops that they give you in those little kits. And so I took it out and I put it on sticky board and then put this fabric that is from Joann's maybe, or Walmart. It could be from Walmart too. And so just made a really cute ornament out of it. So I like that. He's like the tiniest little guy. He's so small. This is another one that I finished last year for Jolly July. It is mittens. It is from a Just Cross Stitch magazine as well. I can't remember which one. And I've seen this one stitched recently on Instagram. And then just some pretty fabric that I had in my stash. And again, I really like these. The mittens and the Santa hat. I had a whole collection of them from somewhere. And so I put good use to them. Coffee Tea-Dyed Monaco, I think is what that one is stitched on as well. We're getting there. We're almost done. So this one has a story behind it too. This is a Nutcracker. And it is on perforated paper, and it is in representation of Germany. I think these are by Imaginating, and there's 3 or 4 booklets of them with different countries. And so my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are prolific travelers. And so I decided to one year, and she loves nutcrackers, to stitch one for the countries that they've been to and the ones that there were nutcrackers for. So I stitched probably 5 or 6 of these for her. But this little guy, I think it's in this corner here. When I was cutting him after I finished him, I cut too close. And so some of the, and I can feel the extra glue that I put there to glue it down. So some of the stitching came unraveled, and I did not want to give that as a gift. And so I decided to keep this guy for myself, for my tree, because I don't mind having a little extra glue there and a little messed up nutcracker, but I did not want that to go as a gift. So I stitched this a second time for her along with the other ones. And then for each of them, I put what country it was on the back so that she would know. So she's got a little collection of these. And I think she keeps them she puts them on the tree during Christmas, but then in her office space, she has a shadow box that they go in throughout the year so that she can keep them up, which is super sweet. So that little guy's got a fun little story. This was a kit that I got, and I can't remember what kind of kit, but it was one of the ones from Hobby Lobby, I think. And my mom finished this one for me because there is sewing involved. And so it's just a little flat finish with a ribbon to hang him on. And as you can see, he's got a lot of backstitch in there, which I try to avoid backstitch as much as possible these days. And this one was stitched in 2010. And then this fabric, it looks like it was already quilted. I don't think my mom did the quilting. Maybe she did. I don't know. And it's stitched on like a ivory Aida, I think. He's cute. Super cute. A lot of detail in that one. Okay, so I've got some pillows. Here's one more flat finish though. This was again one of the ones like the home piece that I just showed that came in a little kit like this guy. And so I just finished him, or my mom finished him. I did not finish him into a little flat fold. And he does it. We forgot to put the ribbon on him. So he just kind of sticks in my tree as well, which works out. More back stitching on that guy. And then I've made 3 for my husband, 3 ornaments. So I'm going to show those. And they are all sports related because he loves football in particular. And so this is a little Santa. Ooh, I don't know where he's from though. I don't even know if I still have what he's from. And I put his name on it and the year that I stitched it, which was 2011. So this was our first year being married. So our first married Christmas. And my mom definitely sewed this for me together because I don't think I would be able to sew something like that in that shape. I would have to practice. But that's the little football. This one was stitched in 2014. And I do have this little booklet because I've made several things from the booklet and I can't remember who it's by, but there's a whole bunch of teddy bears for different occupations. They've got like a ballet one, different sports one. So there's a whole bunch and I've stitched, I know I did 3 for my dad because they had military ones. So I did the military, the Navy one, and then there's countries. So I did a Scottish one since he plays the bagpipes. Oh, and then there's a doctor one, and it's because he was a doctor. So I did those 3 for him and put them in a frame that had 3 slots that they fit into. So this book is very handy. So it's got a ton of different little guys that you can do. So for the football one, I did my, for my husband, and I changed the colors, and his favorite number is 13. So I put 13 on him. And then I did it as Auburn. So I put AU for Auburn University, and then did the blue and orange for the Auburn colors. And my mom, again, I'm sure sewed this for me because I was not sewing back then. And then she did this one as well. So this is, I think I designed this myself, just from like the Auburn University logo that they have. So I think I did this myself to where I could get what I wanted for it. And then we got this fabric, probably from Michael's or probably from Hobby Lobby. And then she sewed on with the buttons on the back for the little hanger. And so I don't know what year I did this one though for him. So he's got his own 3 cross-stitch ornaments that go on my cross-stitch tree. And then I've got a bunch of pillows, and some of them go like underneath my cross-stitch tree. Some of them I stick in there because I don't have a hanger to go on them. But let's see, let's start with this one. This is a Lizzie Kate that I did in 2006, actually. So this is one of the ones that I did when I was a teenager, and my mom finished it. Again, this quilted fabric. And then I think we were trying to do it very similar to the picture in the Lizzie Kate booklet. And it's one of those Lizzie Kates that have like 5 or 6 ornaments in them, and then covered buttons, and we flipped the fabric over to do the covered buttons. So I really like how he turned out. She did a really great job. Something that, even looking at this, I'm not sure if I could do. So my mom was always a trooper when I had these ideas on how I wanted to finish things. She was like, I'm not sure if I know how to do that, but we will give it a try. And that she did. She did great. This is a Little House Needleworks. I stitched this in 2011. And I'm sure I took it to my mom for Christmas one year and asked her to help because in 2011, my parents still lived out of state, and we would go visit them for Christmas most of the time. So I would bring different things for us to do while we were down there for a week. I was working in education at the time, so I got a week off, at least a week off for Christmas, which was great. And my husband would just go ahead and take that time off to where we could travel down to where they were living at the time. So Lizzie Kate, and it is, or Little House Needleworks, and it is a gingerbread theme. And I stitched this on, it looks like it's a linen. Wow, I stitched on a linen. And then we did, I don't know what you call that, but it's cute. And again, this one just sticks in there with, into the tree, and it fits well. This is from one of the Just Cross Stitch Ornament magazines, and I'm not sure who it's by. But if I've not mentioned, purple is my favorite color, so I had to stitch this one, and I did this one in 2010. And again, my dear mom finished it for me, and I think she did a really cute job. So we've got little knots up here, and the pretty purple ribbon in the back, or fabric in the back. And so I really like this one too. And this is stitched on like an ivory Ada as well. And we got a couple more pillows. This one's stitched in 2006. I don't know where it's from though. It's from one of the magazines, I am sure. So it's a little nativity scene, and my mom made it into a pillow. So he's small enough. This is another one that's on a, not a ivory, a little, like a beige Ada, I think. And does he have, yep, there's some backstitch in there. This is about as close as I will get to a full coverage piece, or maybe one of the Prairie Schoolers that is completely filled in. But I'm not sure how much more full coverage I can get than those. That's a lot of stitching. And this is, I want to say this is a Lizzie Kate, maybe. It's another little pillow that we did, she did, and she attached the fabric onto the ends of it, and then we just rolled it up like a scroll. So this one sits at the bottom of my tree with my other cross stitch pillows, which I do have more of that I'm not showing today. And this one was stitched in 2010 on another like beige piece of Ada. And I'm pretty sure this is from a magazine. Sorry for the dog. He hears things outside and has to bark. I really want to say this is a Lizzie Kate too, but I don't know. I think so. And my mom did this one again, and I love the green trim around it. And we folded it over here and did the ribbon and the button. And I think that is probably to cover up where the edges meet of this, which was very genius of her in my mind. And so the stitching on the back to where it's covered up. So that's another one that I love. And oh, one more. Nope, there's more. Wait. They got hidden behind all the other ornaments. Okay, so no, we've got like 5 more. Okay, bear with me. This is another magazine one, and it is on foam core. So there's 2 pieces of foam core that are, and there's batting in here too. I can feel the batting on both sides. And then with the cording around it, this one I did finish on my own, which is why it is not perfect. Stitched in 2011. And it's kind of wonky, but that's okay. Stitched on like an ivory Ada, and there's some beading in here. So these are all beads all the way across here. But it's still pretty, and it still goes on my tree and makes me happy. So I kind of have adopted Annie, the proper stitcher's theory with these, in that I'd rather have things be finished than perfect. And so that's my theory with the barn and how he turned out. It's okay that he's not perfect. He's still very cute, and I'm still gonna put him up there and smile every time I see him and laugh at myself, and just hope that I progress in my sewing as the years go on. So it'll be nice to see how things progress. So hopefully I can get a little bit better. This one is from one of the magazines also, and I stitched it last year for Jolly July. And I put him on a wood, this one actually worked out a lot easier. A wood unfinished board. I think I got it from Michael's maybe, or Joanne, I don't know. But it's got like this, it's already got like a wire hook on it. And I just stained it and then stuck that guy on there with some ribbon, and that's a cover button. So it turned out really well. Yeah, I stitched that last year. And then I did another one, that's the banners with the words last year, and this is Noel. So that's snowy fabric. So this one is one of the ornaments with the 2 pieces of sticky board and a darker piece of even weave that I had already had. And so I like that one too. I like the blue and the snowflakes. And this was stitched in 2012, and it is a Lizzie Kate. And I did this one differently as well, so you can see he kind of needs to be ironed. If I could iron him, I don't know if I could iron him on here, but this is actually finished on this is scrapbook paper. So I just glued it on at these corners, and then to where the buttons were, so it's glued on and frayed around the edges, and then put it on some like mat board from Hobby Lobby to make it a little bit stiffer. So I was going for a different kind of finish. I don't know if maybe I saw something like this that I wanted to replicate or what, but that's how that guy is finished for now. And this is a little pillow, 2007, that my mom did for me. It's a Lizzie Kate from one of the booklets, And I know they have the individual Santa, and then they've got one pattern that's got 3 of the same thing in a row. So I just did the individual little guy. And we finished him into a pillow. And again, we did not put ribbon, so he just sticks into the tree. So that's that little guy. Cute little Santa. And 2 more housewives that I had hidden over here. And these are winter ones. So I have a tree that I'm going to try to keep up through winter. So I'm going to put all of my snowman finishes, maybe like my mittens on there because that's wintry. So any of those I'm going to put on that tree, and that way I can leave it up in January. And so this was snowy delivery maybe from earlier this year. And I just finished it with the Santa. And I didn't glue him on, I attached him through this ribbon. And then I did finish the back as Priscilla has started to do. And I used this blue fabric that I really like. So that's that guy. And then the one, I haven't done all of them yet. So there's still more I need to do from this year. And so then there's the snow day one that they did as well. I think I stitched this one first. No, there's no, I felt some batting on there. Sometimes I put batting, sometimes I don't. But I stitched this one first, and then my little snowman tree that I had, which was like a 2.5 foot tree, very skinny. That was how I started out my cross stitch ornament tree, was with that. And then over the last 2 years, it has grown into a 4-foot tree that is a little bit more full, which is great. But I only had a couple snowman ornaments at the time, and my son said, "Mom, you need more snowman ornaments. Can you stitch another one?" And so, I think it was this one that he actually helped put some stitches in. He was 3 at the time. And so I just kind of let him help me put some stitches in, and he watched me finish it, and then he helped me hang it on the tree because it was his idea to stitch some more snowman ornaments for that tree. So I thought that was really sweet of him. Okay, the last one is one that I designed and stitched, and I did this 2012. And it's on a blue piece of linen, it looks like, a darker, like midnight blue almost. And I think the idea came from a mug that I have that is a dark blue with this snowman. So I decided to chart it out and stitch it up. So, and he's just a flat fold or a flat finish, I guess, but is not stuffed and also does not have a hanger. So he just kind of sticks in there right now. But that's my little design that I did. And I think he's pretty cute, and he matches, like I said, a mug that I have that I really liked. So I wanted to make him into a little ornament for my snowman tree. Well, snowman tree now is where he'll be hanging out. So those are my ornaments. That's not too bad for a video. I thought it might be a little bit longer, so that worked out really well. My husband, when I told him what I was gonna do, he said, "You're going for the longest video ever at this point." And I told him, "Oh no, wait until like a whip parade comes along, because I've got probably 50 of those, and that video might be the longest video I ever do." So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and for checking out my ornaments. I'm going to go redecorate my tree now, and I'll hopefully take a video and some pictures of it and be able to post those to see the finished product. And my next video will be a normal video. I should have some things to show. As you can see, I still have my calendar crate over there for fall, and then I need to switch it out because it does not match with the Christmas over here. But we are hosting Thanksgiving. My mom came by. I've started decorating for Christmas. It's basically all Christmas. We decorated the outside of the house, which the kids had a lot of fun with that. And my mom stopped by and she's like, "It looks like Christmas exploded in here." I said, "Well, yes." And I know for Thanksgiving that might be a little bit weird. I know there's a lot of people who do, decorate before Christmas or before Thanksgiving. I sometimes do. I used to leave like part of the house still fall, but I really wanted to get the hedge up and decorated for Christmas. I didn't want to decorate it for Thanksgiving because then it's just gonna come right down. So I decided to go ahead and do Christmas even in my dining room, except for calendar crates. I do have December finished. I just have not fully finished it. So by my next video, it'll get fully finished and I can show that. And then I will talk about my finish here, which is Jack Frost's Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. So I'll show that one because it's a little bit of a different finish as well. And I should have some whips hopefully. And I do have haul to share in that video because I've got some stuff coming in, and Black Friday's coming up. So I know some shops are going to probably have some Black Friday sales that I will be trying to partake in. So I hope everyone who is in the United States and celebrating Thanksgiving really has a great Thanksgiving, and that everyone just has a great next few weeks getting into the Christmas spirit, and hopefully you can get some stitching time and relax during the chaos that it can be, and hopefully it'll be just a nice, enjoyable season for everyone. So I will see you guys next time.